Hey folks, I'm traveling today here in Chicago, here on my way to Phoenix for a conference. And, you know, I had this article pop up and I wanted to be able to get this video out to y'all because I think it's really important, specifically with the number of folks that are going to be returning to office. This is going to be from Wired.com. And one of the things that I think we're mostly concerned about when it comes to people returning to the office is, well, now we're going to have, eyes on us again. Not that anything was going crazy, but that idea of being watched. Well, Wired has an article today that we're going to be looking into where they said that guess what? It's not just going to be eyes keeping track of you. There's a lot more workplace surveillance that's going to be looked at. So again, for those who don't know, I'm a business coach that works out of West Michigan around the country, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So let's get into this here. Again, this is from Wired.com. Link is going to be in the description, so be sure to go check that out. Your boss wants you back in the office. This surveillance tech could be waiting for you. Warehouse style employee tracking tech has expanded into job after job. Now, as millions are called back to the office, it's finally coming for the office worker. For those that have worked in warehouses, is working in any place that's got a lot of space to it, there's been tracking technology out there for a better part of a decade now to be able to track basically worker productivity. It's been a thing and it's out there. And now it's finally coming to the office. Let's see what they're talking about here. All right. Now, if you scan the online brochures of companies who sell workplace monitoring tech, you'd think the average American worker was a renegade poised to take their employer down at the next opportunity. Nearly half of U.S. employees admit to time theft! Exclamation mark. Biometric readers for enhanced security offer staff benefits. This is my favorite one, by the way. Offer staff benefits in a controlled way with vending machine access. Folks, they want to track your Skittles intake. That's what's happening right now. That's just wild. All right. Now, the next piece is on here. Given with the new wave of return to office mandates has arrived new year, all the big boys are looking at how they can enhance productivity within the office. And this is always one of the things that cracks me up. Rather than looking at how can they develop their processes and their business to make them better, what they do instead is like, oh, how can we just add more layers of surveillance because we can't trust our employees. That's the way it comes off. That's the way this reads. So there's two things happening, says global industry analyst Josh Bersin, who's based in California. The economy is actually slowing down, so companies are hiring less. And so there's a trend towards productivity in general. I mean, we've been seeing that. That's nothing new. Then AI has forced virtually every company to reallocate resources towards AI projects. The expectation among CEOs that that's going to eliminate a lot of jobs. A lot of these back to work mandates are due to frustration that both of those initiatives are hard to measure and or hard to do when we don't know what people are doing at home. And again, I've talked about this at length on the channel, the overarching need for managers to be able to have eyes on people to keep track of exactly what they're doing at all time. It's just not some it just it says more to the lack of understanding of the process and the work the managers have to do than the productivity of the employers. Anyways, um, but there's the other side of this too. AI is not delivering all of the expected gains. So they've invested all this money into AI, thinking this is going to be the panacea that was going to solve problems. And instead, really what's ended up happening is there's been a slight increase in productivity from AI, but that's been about it. Some jobs absolutely did go away, but on the vast majority, it's not replacing jobs. Doesn't mean yet. That'd be with a caveat of yet. But as of right now, all these companies have spent all this money and they're really not getting anything for it. So let's go into a couple of examples that they have here. We're not going to go through the whole article, but I want to cover a couple of them here. So HID's OmniKey platform designed for factories, hospitals, universities, and offices. It's essentially all encompassing RFID, radio frequency ID, like little tags, like when you tap to pay, RFID, login and security system for employees via smart cards, smartphone, wallets, and wearables. These will not basically they're going to put ankle bracelets on everybody, give or take, on your cards. These not only monitor turnstile entrances, exits, and floor access by way of elevators, but also parking, the use of meeting rooms, cafeteria printers, lockers, and yes, vending machine access. I would recommend going to HID OmniKey's page. I'll stick a link to it in the description and go check out exactly what this looks like. Now, these have been around for a while in varying levels of intrusiveness in the logistics field forever and a day. So the fact they're coming to the office shouldn't be too surprising. Um, Now with this, there's a survey I want to talk about real quick. Depending on the survey, approximately 70 to 80% of large US employers now use some form of employee monitoring. And the likes of PwC have explicitly told workers that managers will be tracking their location to enforce a 3-day office week policy. Real quick. So for all you, again, you folks that are just coming in to get a coffee, I did a video on it. Don't worry about that. But there's coffee badging folks out there. They're gonna be tracking you. So just keep that in mind. All right. Let's do the next. There's one more piece I want to get into before I talk about what I've had my experience with my clients on this because we have had discussions about this type of tracking. Let's see here. All right, so let's talk about this from Crack Labs published a frankly terrifying 25-page case study report in November 2024 showing how systems of wireless networking, motion sensors, and Bluetooth beacons, whether intentionally or as a byproduct of their capabilities, can provide behavioral monitoring and profiling. And they break the tech down into two categories. And pay attention to these. First is technology that tracks desk presence and room occupancy. The second monitors the indoor location, movement, and behavior of the people working inside the building. All right, we're going to, again, please go. I don't want to, go too deep into this here. Go check out the article. I think you're going to be kind of spooked by what's out there. Now, in the conversations I had with my clients specifically about tracking software and things they can have in the office, I've told them to tread lightly. There's a level of trust that when you want to have a healthy workplace, that you cannot just do this. Like this literally means you don't trust your people to get their work done. And with what I've encouraged my clients to do is listen, if you have folks that are not performing, they are not delivering on the work, to say they're in a job mismatch, whatever it is, that's going to show up in the workload where them not being able to deliver what they need to deliver. There's an awful lot of people who are looking for work right now. And if the folks are not able to meet, again, reasonable deadlines, just to be clear on this, um, you're free to let them go and basically bring someone else on without having to go to this draconian, basically shackling everybody. I think there's a phrase on there. What was it? Was it techno serfdom? I think there was a YouTube video that I watched on that by I think it was Joe Scott, and it was again techno serfdom where we're all going to be tethered to whatever work or wherever the place we need to be at and tracked at all times. We don't want to have that, okay? And that's what I talk to my clients about. Like, there's no need for it. So again, go ahead and check this out in the description. Yeah, it's just kind of a creepy, creepy article. And then go check out the spaces they have there. Again, hopefully I earn your subscription today. Take care, and I will see you next time.